Hey guys, it's Beth, and quick welcome to all of my new subscribers. And today I finally have my first project done using my Happy Fall pad from CraftSmith. I decided to start with some mini albums, and so this is a 6x6 album, and it used 6x6 envelopes, and I chose that because I got this box of their 6x6 cream envelopes from Goodwill for 69 cents, and there were at least 50 envelopes in the box, so that was a great deal. I don't make a lot of square cards and send them just because it's extra postage, so I decided to use those envelopes for an album. So my cover is closer to like 6.5 inches, and then I've got about a 3/4 inch spine here. I used chipboard for the cover, and then just used one pattern of paper on the front, different pattern on the back, and then I covered the spine with some gold paper just to add some pizzazz to the front of the album. To decorate the front, I just have a stitch circle and then a 3x4 cut apart from the pad. This little bow is from Echo Park's Hello Fall bows, I believe. I've been trying to use those on something for a while and kind of made a little stretch on this one just to be able to use something dimensional on the front of the album. And then the pumpkin here is just a piece of a cut apart from the paper pad. So then opening up the inside, I did the inside of the front and back cover. I covered it in paper as well. The first page here, I just have some layered patterns from the pad. The cardstock that I'm using for most of the pad is from this pumpkin spice cardstock pad from CraftSmith. It is also from Michael's. I got it earlier this fall, so like end of August, beginning of September. So most of the cardstock is from that. I did use one color from this dark floral paper pad from CraftSmith. I got this one a couple years ago from Michael's. I was using this peach color here because it kind of ties in with the peach here. And it's got just a hint of floral embossing detail on it. But this is just from that CraftSmith pad. And then all of the embellishments, most of the embellishments I should say, in my album are these little cut aparts, these little strips here. There was like a whole page, well, 2 pages, but like one whole page design was these little cut aparts. There was like at least 30, if not more, maybe 40, that I went through and cut out, and the kind of challenge was to be able to do the album just using those as most of my embellishments. But it works. And then down here, this is just a scrap from another piece of paper from the pad, and I just stamped a leaf on it, and that kind of acts as a journal spot. And anytime I have overlapped my card mat here, or my photo mat here, I have left these up so that you can tuck something like underneath it. I also sliced off the ends of my envelopes so that there are additional pages in the pockets of the envelopes. And these I just used my silhouette to cut out, kind of like a file folder tab. I just sized it into more of a square, and then have just used some scraps and some more of those cut aparts in some of the journal or the border strips in the pad to decorate these up. I tried to keep them fairly simple and not dimensional since they're sliding in and out. So next we have a pocket page, and just used, some cardstock and pattern paper. There are 2 photo mats tucked in back here, and then I took one of the papers. It had this ledger design to it, and on the right hand side it had this saying, "The beauty of fall colors," and then it had an owl. So I just cut that part off of the paper, turned the top part into a tag, and then the owl picture I'm using for something else. Just added some gold ribbon up at the top there, and then I also have a 3x4 journal card cut apart. And then just kind of dressed up my pocket with some of the border strips, and then this is some gold foil tape. And it is this that's got like a backing on it, and I don't remember if I got it from Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but it came in a roll, or it came in a pack with gold, silver, and like a bronzy, coppery color. And then I took some of this gold cardstock here and cut out some leaf die cuts, and then when I put them on, I used some orange marmalade Nuvo jewel drops just to add some kind of dimension and a little shine, a little pizzazz to that page as well. The next page I just embellished with one of those little bitty cut-aparts. I think these colors are so pretty together, that light kind of blue with the peach and the brown. And here is the insert in this pocket. There's like a lot of gold detail to this pad, so I kind of, you know, used some other gold embellishments when I could. This is kind of another simple page. I just used some of that ledger paper as my photo mat, used a couple scraps here as like my little fishtail banners, and this little fox I fussy cut out of one of the border strips, and I added him to tie in with the little fox over here, which is kind of another like corner pocket page tuck spot. It was one of the 3x4 cut aparts, and then I added another journal card and then another cardstock photo mat. Here these were just some really thin strip scraps that I had left from some of the papers, so I cut those down. Was really trying to use up some of the scraps on these little pocket inserts here. Another simple page where I just used some of the border strips to act as like part of my page and my embellishments here. And again, this is not adhered down, so they can slide something under there. Another pocket page embellished with some of those cut aparts, and then 2 different colored photo mats in here with another journal card. Here is this insert. These stickers were from Stickabilities from Hobby Lobby, and they're really pretty, like with the gold edging, and I initially got them to go. I have several CraftSmith pads that have like the woodland creatures and the owls and the foxes, and so I got them to go with whatever pad I was going to be using next. When I got them, I hadn't decided. So I really liked them, but the colors didn't work real great with this particular pad. So I decided I was fairly safe. I wanted to use them, so I just kind of used it on one of the plain cream colored inserts where it wasn't going to be like right up against some of the other paper. So kind of varied from my normal embellishments there, but really wanted to try and use some of those. Here we have a page with a flap that lifts up, and then this one I kept it very simple. There really isn't even a page mat. They can either do like a skinny vertical photo, or you could also use a horizontal photo here. And then this is a little journal spot. I always like to leave, at least on one of the 2-page layouts, a little space for some journaling, even if it's just writing a name and a date. And most of my photo mats are either 4.5-inch square or 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. Because I wanted to leave some places where if someone wants to take a 4x6, they can just cut 1/2 inch off and still have a little matte border. And then here is my last insert. Again, just using up some of those little cut aparts. And then my last page here mimics my first page, just to kind of tie the whole album together. And it just used different patterns and papers and colors. Excuse me, embellishments. And then here I did use one of those little gold edged stickers because I thought the owl kind of tied in a little bit with some of the colors on this page, so I did use him. But there are 10 pages, so I used 5 envelopes, and there are mats for 30 photos in this one, and you can fit more photos just by tucking some in. So I would say it fits at least 30 photos. So when I made this, I knew I wanted to make two. So I'm going to do a tutorial on the second one for how I put my envelope pages together and then how I did my cover. But what I did go ahead and do is when I was putting all of my pages together for this one, I went ahead and made a second set of all the pages. So all I have to do is add my tape to the back and stick them on my pages once the next album is done. And I'm kind of glad I waited to do the tutorial until I got this one all together, because I initially made my spine 3/4 of an inch. And then once I put this together, I thought, that actually looks kind of big. I feel like there might be some wasted space with that. And so I had already cut the pieces for the second one, you know, just to be ready for the tutorial. And so I went back and recut my spine piece of chipboard down to 1/2 inch, thinking that that would be better. Well, then after I got this one together, kind of filled it up and added all the papers, I feel like 3/4 of an inch is perfect, because right now it lays fairly flat. It's not like, you know, bulked up or sagging down. And once you add pictures, you know, that'll fill up the rest of it. So I kind of feel like 3/4 of an inch was the perfect size. So I went back and recut a piece for the spine on my second one to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm glad I waited. Otherwise I would have made my second one with a smaller spine and it wouldn't have turned out quite as well. So that's why I have not done a tutorial on this part yet. So stay tuned for the tutorial on the envelope album. I'm guessing or hoping to have that out on Saturday for you guys. And then I am working on some other projects for this pad, and I know there were several of you who were working on this pad along with me, and so I've seen and heard from a few of you that you guys have started working on your projects. I would love to see your projects just to see how you guys use it, so don't forget to tag me on social media with your pictures and use the hashtag BCCraftsHappyFall. And I know there's been one video released so far from someone using their Happy Fall pad, and that was Canadian Paper Junkie. And so I've got a playlist going for the Happy Fall pad and for the hashtag BCCraftsHappyFall. So I will add her video into that playlist as well. If you have made a video and just didn't use the hashtag, but you're using this pad, let me know so I can go find your video and be sure to include it in the playlist as well. And then don't forget that I'm also doing a collaboration with Leah over at Ode to Paper. She and I are working on just any fall pad. And that hashtag in collaboration is called Fall Paper Pads Unite. So for those of you who are working on any fall pad, I hope you guys are enjoying it. I've had a lot of fun with this paper so far. This album it took me a while, but it's been a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys are getting some fun fall projects made as well. But like I said, I would like to see it, and I would like to share your projects as well so that we can all kind of see how we're each using the paper differently and maybe get some inspiration and ideas from each other. But I have some other projects lined up with this pad. I always start with my scrapbooks just because I want to make sure I have the best variety of paper, and then it also uses up the biggest amount of paper. But it always takes me longer, so I feel like when I'm doing these pad projects, I get a slow start when I start with the scrapbooks, but then after that it kind of gets moving a little faster. So hopefully I will have more projects to share with you guys sooner than I did with this one. But that is all I have for today. Hope you guys are making some fun fall projects and enjoying the weather. It's finally feeling like fall here, although summer will be back this weekend. But it's really gotten me in the mood for fall and fall crafting, so I hope you guys are there as well. But thanks so much for your time today, and I hope you guys have a very crafty week.